Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Greetings everybody, let's take a bit closer look to the euro currency. Well, guys, our weekly research today has some really interesting issues concerning fundamental situation on the euro currency. In fact, there are some thoughts of analysis of the large European banks concerning the perspective of the euro currency. So one group think that is just a bluff and the euro currency should return right back up until the quantitative easing program is still in progress. At the same time, others speak about possible downward continuation because Mario Draghi points quite definitely that any appreciation of the euro currency right now is not very not very good factor for European economy, and by the action and the really clear comments of the Mario Draghi, we could suggest that 140 area is somewhere around the level that European Central Bank has chosen for indication of the acceptable euro currency rate. So there are some other interesting moments concerning the sterilization process in the Euro Union, and I think that you should read it because it's really points on possible downward continuation on the euro currency and the short-term perspective. On the weekly time frame chart, we have a lot of bearish signs. I will not talk about it because if you would like, you also could read about it in the weekly research. Now we will take a look at the daily time frame chart. On the daily time frame chart, except some obvious moments such as appearing of the butterfly right at the monthly pivot resistance 1, by the way, wash and rinse of this previous top, we have some moment that could become really most significant among all of them, and this issue is that point because as you can see, we have not just a butterfly, but we also have inner ABC bottom D pattern that almost has been completed. Just some few pips, market hasn't quite reached the target. Okay, and take a look. To hold this pattern valid, market should hold above these lows. Only if market could hold above these lows, it at least theoretically could hold the chances on the moving to the extended objective points. So as market has hit 100% extension, it could theoretically proceed to the 1618 or 127, but for that market should hold above the C point of the ABCD pattern. Once the C point of this pattern has been taken out, market can't continue move with this pattern, and in fact it means that this pattern has been vanished and market has no chances to continue to extend the target of this pattern. Well, and I think that this event is really significant in the short-term perspective. I do not want to dare and talk about possible long-term reversal, but all these patterns that have been formed on the weekly time frame chart, on the daily time frame chart, in particular this moment, points on some downward continuation in the near short-term future on the euro currency. The nearest target that could be really significant on the coming week will be this area. That is the 618 support that is based on this low to this high. It's 136.74 area, accompanied by the daily oversold. That will be a really significant support area, and probably we should use this area as the target for the short-term trading on the coming week. It means that if market will show any suitable bounce in the beginning of the next week, we could try to use it for taking the short position. Where this bounce could happen, it's very difficult to say right now because this action is really fast, but I suggest that maybe market could bounce from the weekly pivot support one that stands 137.24 area. Maybe market will reach it and show some bounce up. That's really possible. Well, and here's the levels that we could watch for short entry on the 4-hour time frame chart. As usual, when we have really fast down, we are in most cases trying to take a look on the perspective of appearing Judd Napoli patterns, because they are very simple and very reliable, and they really could give us significant assistance in taking the position. Since we have the thrust down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars down, that's minimum requirement number of candles to the downside, according to the Judd Napoli framework, we could get either double repo buy here or brand buy sell. Well, logically, its situation mostly stands for brand buy as the continuation pattern. But who knows? Double repo also is possible, but I prefer to get the brand body here, and that's the level that's very nicely looking for possible short entry, because that's the weekly pivot point on the common week. It's 138.32 area, accompanied by the 3-8 fib resistance, 138.40. So that's the first level to watch for. If market will form double repo buy, then retracement up could be a bit more significant, because the minimum target of this pattern is the 50% level. It's 138.70 approximately. We will see how the situation will develop, but that's definitely the level to watch for, because it's also the barrier and the border between the sentiment. As we know, the weekly as the pivot point is significant, and the testing of the pivot point and bounce down will confirm possible downward continuation. And that's the level that we should keep an eye on. Well, guys, maybe here market will form something on the hourly time frame chart. We do not know that. Maybe market will form here some patterns. Maybe this will be the head and shoulders on the hourly time frame chart. Maybe this will be butterfly or something. Because currently you see that market just has finished this move and no patterns has been formed here yet. So we will see what will happen. But in general, the overall strategy is as follows, since we suspect that market probably still will continue downward action in a short-term perspective, mostly based on the current momentum. I don't want to argue against the possible fundamental background of the current action on the euro currency, but I still also see some issues that suggests also downward action here. But I don't want to really argue with the Commerzbank analysis in concerning the longer term perspective. But in a short term perspective, the chances on the downward action is really significant, and our overall strategy suggests first, get some bounce up, reasonable retracement. Second, trying to take the short position, and I hope that we will get this opportunity, and maybe it even will be based on some Judd Napoli pattern, maybe bread and butter, maybe double repo.